This episode and the entire season are proudly brought to you by California Cryobank, the #1 sperm bank in the U.S. Use promo code LOVEISLOVE for a free level 2 subscription to their donor catalog. Enjoy.
Love is love on the Queer Family Podcast. Love is love.
Well, hopefully she will be the one carrying.
Yeah. Okay.
I did my due diligence.
You did it once. That's the beauty of having two uteruses, uteri. Welcome, y'all, to the Queer Family Podcast Pride Extravaganza. Oh yeah, it's the Pride Extravaganza yet again, year 2, the second year in a row. And that's, you know what that means? That means we are giving you double the episodes for the entire month of June, which is Pride Month. You're going to get an episode on Monday and you're going to get an episode on Thursday all month long, you lucky ducks. And today is so good. If you didn't know, this here is the show all about family, but with gay. We highlight, uplift, celebrate, and normalize LGBTQIA plus families in all of our beautiful identities. And woo, I had the pleasure of sitting down with Kelsey and Kymaria, otherwise known as House of K. Two beautiful. I mean, if I tell you they're beautiful, it doesn't say enough. And throughout the entire interview, you're going to hear me being like, you're so beautiful. So apologies. But when I see beauty, I like to tell people and they're beautiful. They're like rolling their eyes at me right now as they listen. But it's a really wonderful, wonderful episode. Kymaria had a baby the non-queer way at an early age. And then Kelsey came into the picture when their daughter was young. And so she's a bonus mom, love a good bonus mom. So, they're a blended family. And we delve into their coming out stories, which are spiced with nice doses of religion, both of them. And you know how those can go. And I do, in the end, grill them on how they will make their next baby, if they will make their next baby. How they will, if they will, I don't know. Listen, I'm excited for you to hear their story. Check it out. But before I roll the tape, I got to talk about some things happening in the Kel Woods home right now. It's June. It is y'all, what is happening? Like, I feel like the longer you're a parent, the crazier your life gets. It's June, so it's Pride Month. We've got the Pride Extravaganza going on. It's the end of school, but in New York, we're going all the way to the end of June. So everybody's tired. Everybody's so tired. The kids are over it. And to top it all off, we have 5th grade graduation coming up. So my daughter is graduating from 5th grade, which is really exciting and fun. And, and I don't know about y'all, but when I was a kid, and I'm Gen X, so take it with a grain of salt. I raised myself. I'm just kidding. I love you, Mom. But, take it with a grain of salt. But 5th grade graduation was fun. It was a thing, but it wasn't what it is right now. I mean, this is insane what's happening for these 5th graders. It is weeks of activities that we are planning for them. They're getting a swag bag. I'm like, what is going on? I'm on the 5th grade graduation committee, the parents volunteer graduation committee. And I sit there in these meetings just like with my eyes wide open in shock that, oh my God. And I keep saying, I'm sorry, are we setting the bar kind of high for them? And then I look like a terrible parent who doesn't want my kid to have amazing memories, which is not the case. I do want her to have amazing memories and I'm excited for her, but it's like we're planning a prom and all that goes with the things with the prom. She's like, Mom, I want to get my hair done. I'm like, what? You're in 5th grade. She's like, I want to get my nails done. Mom, can I get fake nails? I'm like, what? It's a lot. We keep shopping for outfits. And my daughter she's never liked dresses, but of course all her little friends I shouldn't say little friends because they're like teenagers now, but like they all are going to wear dresses. And so we keep looking at dresses and she's like, I could do that. I'm like, are you sure? We've bought numerous outfits so far that I'm pretty sure when the day of comes, she's not going to wear any of them. We're going to end up in sweatpants. I don't know, but there's a lot going on here. And I mean, like when I was in 5th grade, we had graduation. We did that. Yeah. I remember I got a dress. And I remember there was something in the cafetorium at the school. And then we all went outside and like took pictures for a second. And this was big. My parents took me and my best friend to Benihana. Like that was huge. I remember it. It's a core memory here. But it wasn't a swag bag. And it wasn't like a huge party with a red carpet. I mean, this is insane. We had Shirley Temples at Benihana. Times have changed, y'all. Times have changed. But life is crazy here at the Kelwood's house. And I'm just treading water. And so if any of you out there feel the same as me, I see you. I'm here for you. We're going to make it through. We're going to get through. And as soon as we get through this, it's going to be like a whole nother thing because then it's summertime and it's camps and you know how it goes. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little background on what's going on in my life. I hope yours are all doing well. It's time to roll this tape. You're going to love Kelsey and Kymaria just as much as I do. And if you're watching the video, you'll see how beautiful they are first and foremost. And then you'll also hear a wonderful story. And you'll also see that my video cuts out at the very end. It cuts out a couple times, but the sound continues. So fear not. It's all good. It's just you're going to see some video cuts for a second. Bear with it. Thank you so much. I love you. Okay, I'm going to roll the tape. Jerson, Nicole, please roll that tape. Thank you so much.
Queer Family Podcast. Love is love.
Hi, Kelsey and Kymaria.
Hi, how are you?
Oh my God, I'm good. How are you? I love you all. I love you already to death. Y'all are beautiful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well, I am really honored to have you here. And I cannot wait to hear your story because I really don't know much about it. Without further ado, so that the listeners at home or in their cars or wherever they happen to be will know who you are. We're going to start your 30-second elevator pitch. On your mark, get set, go.
I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Kymaria.
And we are House of K. And we pretty much decided to start our platform to really bring representation and just share and show our love and just spread love. We love love. So we want to share and spread our love. So that's why we're here to just share a little bit more about us and
our family.
Yeah.
Boom. Beautiful. That was amazing. I cannot wait to hear your whole story because all I do, so all y'all have to go to houseofk.love and just all I do, I don't read the cap. I just look at your beautiful pictures. There's so many beautiful pictures. It's like I try to set up pictures to like get me and my wife together and they always turn up a hot mess. I don't get it. I don't know how y'all do it, but it's beautiful. So everybody go check it out. And I would love to go into how the two of you got started together. And then I'd love to know a little bit about when y'all came out as well. So I don't know if we can put those two things together and see how it lands.
Well, I'll just start with how we met. We have a really crazy story. I'll try to shorten it up as much as I
can't
can.
Wait. I love a juicy story.
So we met in passing in 2019 through a mutual party, which is my cousin and one of her close friends.
Yeah.
We just kind of met in passing. She had an event and she introduced me to her. She was like, hi, this is my little cousin. In her mind, I'm like 14 because she's like little cousin.
In my mind, I'm like little cousin. Oh, she's down. Okay.
So we just met that way. And it's really crazy because at the event, we ended up taking like a group picture and we were like sandwiched right by each other. It's so crazy. We don't remember it until our cousin like brought it back around, but we were like, to look like we're together, right?
Yeah.
So nothing was, done there. So my cousin ended up having a birthday party like a month later and she was in a relationship. I was in a relationship. But I remember I wasn't really out to everybody. And I remember her saying something about she had a girlfriend. And I was like, oh, okay. But I just put it in the back of my mind because, of course, we're taken, right? So then after that, we just went to her house and, we all just chilled. And I think a couple of weeks after that, I ended up following her on Instagram and we just followed each other back. And then that was that. Maybe like 5 to 6 months later, I was single and I was just kind of snooping around. I asked my cousin, I said, hey, how's Kelsey? Like, what she had going on? And I was like, she's still with that girl? And she was like, actually, they're not together anymore. I was like, okay. So then that prompted me to slide in her DM. And I was just like, let me take you out. And she said, where are we going? So we ended up going on a date. Yeah. And then right after that, the pandemic hit and we were like trapped in the house. And like in May-ish, She decided to come over. I cooked for her. And literally, we have not been apart since
May 2020.
It's a true U-Haul situation. Like the pandemic made the U-Haul like 10 times more, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're not the only ones I've talked to who met right before the pandemic and then just basically moved in. Like that was it.
Yeah. It was
because the pandemic, you had to.
Yeah. And then too, I figure if we could be around each other during the pandemic when everything is like closed and you don't really have that much space, I think that says a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then after that, I think we kind of like, I don't know, just randomly took some pictures and I think we posted it and it kind of just went crazy.
Yeah. How did that happen? Because I take pictures all the time and I post them and they don't go crazy. I'm just going to say. That doesn't happen to me.
It was so random. And then we were like, let's just start our own page or whatever. And because she was already doing social media.
So I already had like my own YouTube channel because I did like natural hair. I was like in that portion of, I think I started in like 2015, 2016. So I had like a YouTube channel and all that. And so I was like, we should do just like a fun YouTube channel, like vlog our day or whatever. And it just kind of
took off. And House of K came about because all of our names start with a K. Our daughter name is Kamora. Her name is Kelsey. Mine is Kymaria.
Yeah.
And it was just like House of K.
House of K. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It sounds like a reality show. Like, I feel like you should talk to Andy Cohen and be like, yo, Andy, we have a show for
Put
you.
that out there.
He lives in New York City, though. So, true story. I saw Andy Cohen on the street. And I was like, oh my God. So I walked out. I go, Andy, hi. It's nice to meet. I'm like, you got to listen to my podcast. It's all about like gay people and stuff. And like, he was so awkward. He was like, okay, thank you. And then walked away. It was not good. Kymaria, you alluded to you weren't completely out yet. And then Kelsey, you were living that gay life, it seems like.
Yeah.
I want to talk about both of your like journeys to becoming your true selves.
I think mine kind of spun like right before college, like in the midst of like early college. I always kind of knew, but I'm from a very Southern, very small town, very religious background. So you know how that goes. And so I always dated like feminine women. So they always like came around, but nobody kind of knew. It was just like, oh, this must be her little like friend type thing.
Girlfriends.
Yeah, but like I haven't dated a guy in like, it was so long. So I don't know why my family didn't know, why they didn't put two and two together. But hey, I wasn't like really pressed about it because I always said like when I meet the person that's for me, then I knew it would just be an automatic just thing. Like I wouldn't have to force it. And so that's pretty much how it was when I got with Kelsey. As soon as we got together, I just kind of knew she was the one. Like, even before when I sent her DM, I just knew she was for me. I used to tell my cousin all the time, she's going to love it here. Because she was actually acting a little hard to get, right? So, but she had her own situation going on. So I really understand. I understood once we got together and she explained everything. So once we got together, it was literally so easy. I posted the picture, brought her around my family, told my mom. And, they wasn't really receptive. My mom wasn't really that receptive of it.
Because not only were you telling your mom that you had a partner, but you were also being like, I'm also gay.
Right.
Because they had no idea.
Right. But I actually came out to my mom when I was younger, but she was just basically like, no.
No, you're not. She was like, let's move on.
She was just like, no, this is wrong. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, because I was at a Christian school. I was like, I'm religious background. So I was just like, okay, this is wrong. Put it in the back of your mom, whatever.
Oh,
exactly. So when I became an adult and when I was able to have the freedom of just doing whatever I wanted to do, I explored that side and I loved it. Also, I had my daughter around the same time. So it was just a whole thing.
Okay, we're gonna have to dig into that because I don't that just added a whole layer.
Yeah, so I had my daughter with my high school sweetheart.
And who was a guy.
Yeah.
I would think. You never know, but that would have been a lot harder if it was a girl. A lot harder in high school.
Sure. Yeah, so me and my high school sweetheart, we dated from like 15 all the way up until like college and until I had my daughter.
Okay, so how old were you when you tried to come out the first time?
10.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. And then put it back, you find a guy, and you like this guy, right? Like that's totally, yeah. I had a high school sweetheart too that I was like, I was in love with him. I really was. But it took me like trying the other thing to realize, oh, no.
Yeah, oh, no. Like this is.
No, this is better.
Yeah.
This is way better. Okay, that's an extra layer that your family has to take in because like now you not only were you not gay to them, you were like living that hetero. You had a kid. Like you were, so how'd they take it?
Honestly, by the time I feel like, because it like lingered on for so long, like I was just, and I guess in their eyes, single with a kid, but I also was dating women who came around, but they didn't really know who they were, if it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You're not like introducing every woman that you're dating because you have a child.
Exactly. So you catch me. Okay. So just dating here and there. No one actually serious enough. So when I met Kelsey, like I said, I pretty much knew she was the one. So it was very easy. She met my daughter maybe like 3 months.
Yeah.
Because she was gone for the summer. Yeah. So 3 months in, and she like fell in love with her immediately. She came around my mom, and I was just like, this is who I'm with, and she was just like, what? And it was a whole thing. Even with our page, it was just like, no, this is whatever. But I was grown by that point. So I was just like, whatever. Like, it's still hard,
my
though. Life.
It's hard.
I was like, this is my life. And, if you love me and all that good stuff, then eventually, like, you will come to terms with it. But I wasn't willing to sacrifice my happiness on account of anyone else's feelings because I felt like I had did it for so long. And
had it, girl.
Yeah. So I was just like, it was time. And I was 100% all in. I didn't have any second doubts. I was just like, this is my person, and I'm willing to just go to the end of the road for her. So, yeah.
Oh, but if you're watching the video, just to see them look at each other the way they look at each other, it's like, I don't think my wife and I look at each other like that anymore. But we're tired and old. You're still young and in love. No, we are too. I'm kidding. Anne, I love you. Anne is listening at this moment. Like, what are you talking about? Okay. Can I ask, how is your family with it now? Is it still a coming around kind of thing? Like, you don't have to tell me all the details, obviously, but.
I think so. I've seen a lot of growth. When we go out of town, my mom like house sits for us. She comes over and watches the baby. My mom absolutely adores Kelsey. Like when they're in the room, I'm barely there. Like they're talking to each other. Like I'm just not a part. So I think she just has to come to terms with just the whole, and that's kind of like inner work. We can't fix everything. So I just give her grace in that area, and as long as she's respectful, I'm fine with her taking her time.
No, that's good. And she's still around, and she's trying, which is everything, that's a good thing. All right. So Kelsey, let's take it to your kind of coming out journey and leading up to meeting the love of your life.
So my coming out journey is a lot bit different. So prior to realizing that I was a lesbian, I did date guys because it was just I think for me, it was really like a lack of knowledge, and then also a lack of representation. And then also how I grew up. I grew up in a very religious household. So it was very heteronormative in my household. So I just thought that was like the normal thing to do.
If you can't see it, how do you know? If you don't see it.
Yeah. So I didn't come out until 24. And I don't even want to say I came out. I think it was kind of just forced out of me because I've always been kind of like a private kind of person. And to me, my perspective on coming out is kind of like, well, straight people don't come out. So why do gay people need to come out?
Why do I have to? That'll be the day when it's not an assumption, right? Like when it's just, who do you like to date? Like, why can't it just be like that? Yeah. Why does a straight have to be the assumption?
Right.
So annoying.
I know,
that'll be the day. But so how'd it work out? How'd you do it?
I was on social media during like the time where you post things subtly, where they like, subtweet, whatever. But I posted like something subtly, and my mom was like, what is this about? Da, 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 da. So we ended up like going out to eat, and I pretty much like came out, and she was not having it. And really it kind of shocked me too, because I have a family member, one of her siblings was a lesbian, me growing up. And so I did. So, you know, my mom was like very cool with this. I was just like, oh, I didn't expect this response.
Yeah.
So I was like taken back. And then she was just like very much not supportive till this day. Because I was like 24, I'm 34 now. So it's been like a decade. And in the name of religion.
And is it still difficult?
It is, because even like, I don't know, I'm very much like a upfront, let's be real, let's be honest type of person. And her personality is not quite like that. It's kind of like, there's an elephant in the room. We're going to ignore that elephant.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. So I think that's been kind of like the thing with us. I'm just like, no, we need to adjust this, get to the root of why you have an issue. It's a work in progress.
Oh, that's
it's a work
tough,
in
though.
progress.
How is she with you, Kymaria? Like, do you have a relationship or not really?
No, not really. Yeah, we barely speak. So
yeah. Bummer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you never know, you know.
Yeah.
Time can heal things. And also it's tough. And I know it's tough on our parents, you know, when they have an idea in their heads about who we're going to be. I guess, you know, that disappointment and the letdown is real, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a lack of knowledge about how rich of a life you can have. Just like, it's not about what we're doing in bed. That's not what it is.
Right.
So let's stop thinking about that and just start thinking about how fulfilled we can be.
Yeah.
You know, because we love each other so much.
Exactly.
But it takes a while for many. It takes a while. Well, I love you. I'll be your makeshift like old mom over here in New York City.
But you know, just because it's my mom, I mean, she's met my aunt and my cousins, and like those are family members that are very supportive. But I have another aunt that is very supportive, and
that's good. She'll come around. She'll come around.
She will.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Queer Family Podcast.
Hey folks, I just wanted to interrupt for a second to talk about our sponsor, California Cryobank, and my promo code for you to get a free level 2 subscription to their donor catalog. Did you all know that California Cryobank has been proudly helping LGBTQIA+ families fulfill their dreams of parenthood for more than 45 years? Did you know that? And did you know that in addition to offering one of the largest and most diverse donor catalogs, which is wonderful, they also provide free vial transfers for partners, which is so great for our community. They also provide a personalized letter if you need it for second parent adoption. Whoa, thinking about our community yet again. And they offer free vial storage with their Family Today and Family Tomorrow programs. These are all new since I made my babies with them. So they're really doing the work, which I love. You should just go ahead and start your donor search today, y'all. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to visit cryobank.com. You're going to use promo code LOVEISLOVE, and you're going to get a free level 2 subscription to their donor catalog, or you're going to apply it to a level 3 subscription for a discount. Do it. It's amazing, and make those babies, and then tell me about them.
Love is love.
Are you both from Atlanta or Georgia?
No. So I moved to Atlanta in 2016 after college. I'm originally from Mississippi, the Gulf Coast. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I grew up here, but I'm originally from the Bronx. We moved here in 96.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you're right. You're
right
in my neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Okay. What's it been like since it's the South, and you know there's been some pretty crappy stuff going down for LGBTQIA+ folks in the South? I mean everywhere, but have you faced anything being queer in the South, being out and proud in the South?
No,
not really.
Yeah, we don't have any stories
not
like
really.
that.
We believe very much in like energy, and what you put out into the world is what you're going to attract into the world. So, you know, there's places we've been, just experiences we don't experience, I think, just purely off of the energy, the vibe that we bring. So
I love that.
That could have something.
Right. We're not going to say it ain't out there, but we just haven't experienced it
personally. Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. It's like that thing, like everybody, if I go out to New Jersey, like if we go visit friends in New Jersey, all anybody has to say is, oh my God, how's it in New York? You know, because you hear things about a place.
Yeah.
But if you don't go there, you don't so we hear the South, oh my God, they don't like gay people, but it's not true. It's just, you know, we have these myths about all the different places. And so it is one of those things. But a lot of folks do face discrimination. So I don't want to take away from them.
Right.
You know, and their experiences, but it's not always as bad as it's made out to be.
Right. Agreed.
All right. So let's talk about daughter, baby, and like how you've blended together and how it's all gone. And tell me about your daughter. I want to hear. And you had to come out to your daughter, or maybe how old? Yeah. Tell me everything.
I believe when I got with Kelsey, she was 6 years old. She's 10 now. And
Same. I have a 10-year-old daughter.
Yeah, okay. So you're that age range that, you know, before puberty hit. So
oh my God. We could talk for a while.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm getting scared because it's
I'm trying. I'm like, woo. We started seeing a little attitude. I'm like, and I'm like, woo. She's like, no. I'm like, I see it. She's like, no.
I have definitely said recently, I don't know who you think you're talking to right now.
Yeah.
I don't know who you're talking to right now.
I don't think they know either. I think it just catches them off guard too. They're like, hold on, wait. Oh.
Yes. Yeah. It's a journey.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell me about her.
Yeah. So she was about 6 years old when we met. And I remember just being in the Chick-fil-A line, and I believe she had been around. I think she asked me, this is really blurry, but I believe she asked me, and I was like, yeah, you know, this is who mommy is dating. I asked her how she felt about it. And I think at first she was just like, because mind you, I've never dated anyone serious around her. It was just us two or whatever. And she was like, I mean, I like her. She was like, but, you know, I guess she was just trying to figure out everything. And I was just like, well, you know, and I explained to her that, you know, love is love. And her dad was currently married to someone. He still is, but he was married. And I just kind of explained it like that. And mommy is with Kelsey, like daddy is with his person. And just kind of put it into short terms like that. And asked her, was she okay with that? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And we've just been rocking and rolling ever since. And she is everything. Like, she is so easygoing. They actually have the same 3 zodiac signs. So they are like 2 peas in a pod. Like, they try to gang up on me all the time. It's really crazy. And then we all just kind of blended together. Like, she took in Kelsey like she had been here forever. And that really sealed the deal on knowing that Kelsey was for me. Because, you have that feeling. But if your child is not okay with them, then it's really a no-go for real. Like, in my opinion.
I can't even imagine. Like, life would be unbearable.
Right.
There's no way, right?
Yes. And for Kelsey, she had never been around kids, period. Like, I come from a really huge family. Yeah. Like, I have nieces and nephews. But her, on the other hand, she's the oldest child. Yeah. She doesn't have nieces and nephews. Yeah. No baby cousins, really.
Yeah. I was an only child until 8, 9. So my younger sister's 25. And she's very much like... She's graduating from law school, so she's very like career minded, and
so she took care of herself. She didn't need you to take care of her.
Yeah, she's got her own thing going on. So no babies.
What were your thoughts on babies? Like, you know, because a lot of times when we realize we're gay, we think about these things because we have to know, like, am I going to have to work hard to make a family? Do I really want a family? Do I, right? So what was your thinking?
I always loved children. I was a teacher, so an elementary teacher. So me and it's a natural. Like, kids love me. I told her, I was like, your daughters love me. Kids love me. And like, I can't help it. They just do. And maybe because I'm a big kid, I don't know. But so on that aspect, it was really easy. But I've faced challenges too because it's a completely different. Life dynamic. It goes like, because it's different. Like, when you're teaching, you go home and it's just you.
You get a break.
It's different when you have a child in your space. I've loved it because I've noticed how much I've been able to grow as a person. Because I think that's the beauty of being a parent, is like you're pushed to grow in so many other ways. So it's been a pleasure to be a part of her development and her growth. So I love it.
I like the insight, like from a bonus mom who can come in and be like, yeah, it's hard, but it's refreshing to be able to be a part of this child's life. So you became an instant bonus mom, basically.
Instantly. Wow.
You have joint custody, right? With her dad?
Yeah, well, I have primary custody, but she does, visit him in the summer and holidays and things like that.
I wanted to dig into religion a little bit because you both were raised very religious. And I'm wondering, are you raising your daughter with religion? Like, what are your thoughts on religion having come from what you came from? Are you carrying on the tradition? Can we dig into religion a little? Is that okay?
I was raised Baptist and, went to church mostly on Sundays and vacation Bible school here and there. But, you just have those, I don't know. I just feel like when it comes to religion, a lot of the times, whether it's the major religion or a short span of religion, they just kind of all agree that you can't be gay. Like you can do any other sin, everything else is fine, but being gay is just the end all be all. So
or trans.
Exactly. When I speak on my religion, that's just kind of how my background was. It wasn't like all the rules was followed, but when it just came to me and my life, that's highlighted. But babe was raised way more religious than I am. Yeah. So I'm gonna let her because hers is way more juicy than mine.
I was raised in a very religious household. If you were someone looking from the outside in, you would even say that the church I went to was like a cult.
Oh, what was it?
It was a Church of Christ, but it was, so they have like a traditional Church of Christ. Like a lot of them have been around for like many, many, many years. But then they also had a version that kind of broke off. It was like the International Church of Christ. Yeah. And I could go on and on and on about just how the structure was. It was very interesting. Like it was like very much like
I'm all ears.
We are very much involved in your life, every aspect. I'll give an example. So let's say you have a guy and he is what someone would deem like a really good Christian guy. And he is maybe like a leader type of all the single men in the church or whatever. And then you have a woman who's like kind of like the equivalent. They would kind of play matchmaker and be like, oh, you two would be a really good couple because then you two could lead and be an example, regardless if they liked each other or not. It was kind of just, and it was kind of like manipulative in that way.
Like you will be the pinnacle, perfect couple, even if they don't even really fit those, but it's just according to the church's standards.
And then a lot of times, like the Bible was used in a very manipulative way, or scriptures were like, it says one thing, but this is what it means. I grew up in that. My mom became a member at 19 and she had me at 25. So she was like in there. So by the time I came, that's all I knew.
What opened your eyes? And your mom is still in it, right?
Yeah. She goes to the traditional one now, but she still holds a lot of the same beliefs. So, hence why our relationship is the way it is. So, it is what it is.
And you're not following it at all now?
No. I'm very much like, the basis of my belief is love. Like, it's interesting because although I have different beliefs about the Bible and Christianity, I love the story of Jesus. And I love the person Jesus was. Because I'm like, if Jesus was here, I would be rocking with Jesus. You know what I mean? Fighting for what is the better of all people. And
my wife was raised really Catholic. And this is what she says too. Like she loves the story of Jesus and she loves the person and the true teachings of Jesus. Right? I wasn't raised with religion. So I always just, I want to hear everything about it. But yeah, I get that. And so you kind of have your own belief system now.
Yeah. And I just believe in like moving from a place of love and not moving from a place of fear. That's really the gist of it. So you asked what kind of opened my eyes. I have an actually very unique story of what opened my eyes. It's so unique.
Yeah.
So I grew up a Brandy fan my whole life. And when I was about 23 years old, I got the opportunity to meet her.
Oh my God. That's so amazing.
So I always just wanted to meet her and like kind of just take a photo, like a normal fan. But I got to meet her, but I also got to hang out with her quite a few times. And I know, it's just like, what? And
it's a dream come true.
I know, it was crazy. So like one time we were hanging out, it was like after one of her concerts, and we were hanging out, we were just kind of talking about religion. And it was crazy because she grew up in the same kind of church as me. I was like, what are the chances that you, all these denominations, what? So we were talking, and a lot of the questions that she kind of posed to me kind of made my wheels start turning, because these were questions that no one around me would ever ask because we're all in the same kind of world.
Beliefs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she recommended this book to me called Conversations with God. And she was like, when you read it, just read it with an open mind. She was like, and that was the most life-changing book. Like my mind was like, whoa. And it wasn't something that made me like put you against any religion at all. So that book is so long, so I can't even like go into immense detail, but it was very eye-opening.
So Brandy opened your eyes, basically. We got to let Brandy know. You have changed. I mean, Brandy's changed many lives for sure. But oh my God, that's amazing.
Because honestly, if I thought about my mindset and where I was at that time, had anyone else been like, hey, read this book, I'd have been like, yeah, no.
Yeah, it had to be someone
it had to be epic. Someone epic. Brandy said, read it. Oh, this has to be an important book.
Yeah, it was like meant to be, like fate. What about how you're raising your daughter now? Is religion in her life, or how are you doing all that?
Yeah, I think religion is not a sole part of her life, but it is sprinkled in just because of, being around family. Like when she stays with my mom, she goes to church. I'm completely fine with that because I feel like one way or the other, you're still going to be curious. And I like to raise our daughter in a way that is free. And if you want to, explore different things, you're open to doing that. And we're just if you have any questions, we're going to lay it to you straight. Mm-hmm. Right. And so I think that has been really the best way because she's super curious and she has a mind of her own and she questions different things and we're all for it and we explain it as they come. I don't think forcing, you need to do this, it's going to do anything one way or the other. So, but we are a very spiritual household. Like I said, we believe in a lot of different, like, the universe and how things work and, all
meditation.
Yeah. So
it's just like everything kind of
incorporated into one. Yeah.
It sounds like you kind of you're making it your own, you have your own belief system that really works for you together and as a family. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of how we are too. And I think a lot of queer folks kind of get to this place. Mm-hmm. And then that's why I want to ask this question. Do you think if you weren't gay, you would have had these epiphanies about the religions you were raised in?
I think I would because I was kind of the same way. Like as a kid, I always like question different things. I always had like a mind of my own, and I love like philosophical things and just discovering more. I love reading and stuff like that. So I think I would, in a sense, would it have been so pivotal? I don't know.
Yeah,
right.
And me, I think definitely because even growing up in the environment that I did, I always even looking back, I always consider myself like the black sheep because my reasoning for doing things wasn't the same reason everybody else was doing them. I had an experience where someone tried to get me to date somebody because they thought, and I was like, no, I was very rebellious in that way. So I think I still would have been on this journey.
I think it's interesting to think about because, is it our queerness that makes us different, or are we just different and that helps us find the path to queerness?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. It's something to think about. Food for thought.
Is.
Yeah, look at us getting so deep and philosophical.
Because you have people, I think we talked about this not too long ago. We have people that come out later on in life because they're just kind of persuaded to think this one way and they're just kind of fighting against it for so long. And I think we were able to come out so early because we did have a mind to be like, okay, it's okay. Even if you sneak, it's okay to explore a little bit. It's okay to see what you want to do, even if it kind of goes against the grain. So,
maybe because you already had the experience of not fitting the norm. Right? Yeah, you didn't fit the mold already, even realizing your sexuality. You didn't fit the mold anyway. So maybe it's an easier path to that. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to think about. One more question, and then my final question. Are we thinking of any more babies?
I think we go back and forth a lot about it.
Yeah.
When we first got together, I think she was like, yeah, we're going to have more kids.
Yeah.
And when she got a real taste of parenthood. Because
wait a minute.
So we have a godson too. His name is King. And
another K.
Yeah, another K.
Oh my God.
And he has 2 moms as well. It's really cool.
Yay!
Yeah. And we kept him when he was, 5 months, going on 6 months. So we got to keep the baby for almost like 2. I think we have for like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so we kind of got another, she got her full taste.
You got a real taste.
The newborn stage. And then we also have, not full custody, but my niece is living with us right now. She's 13. And so we just had all these different age groups.
I've had experience in all the age stages now, you know.
Yeah.
Kelsey, you're just hitting parenthood in like 5 years. Like you're hitting it all.
Yeah. She's like, before I met you, I didn't know no kids. She's like, now it's everywhere. But I think we want to wait a little bit longer. I think we do want to have at least one or 2 more.
Yeah.
If and when you do you know how you might go about it? Like who would carry, things like that?
Well, hopefully she will be the one carrying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did my due diligence.
You did it once. That's the beauty of having 2 uteruses, uteri.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And like known donor, sperm donor. I'm just making you answer all the difficult questions right now.
I would possibly love to do like a known donor, but maybe like someone who wouldn't want to be in the kid's life.
Yeah. Contract, lawyers, all this
stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Only because I would love to know, like, get a good insight of like family and just personality and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I think we visited like Cryobank's websites and stuff and kind of like glimpsed over it, but I don't know. I think when we get in that like final stage, I'm sure we would probably be willing to do whatever. I want to say whatever, but ideally we would love to have like a known donor. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask another one because these are the questions that all of us have to answer ourselves anyway, so I'm going to make you do it on a podcast. Would you want to do it like through a fertility doctor, or would you want to try it at home?
Ooh, I feel like maybe a fertility doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to get the science involved.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm sure there are many more questions I could ask, but I'm going to leave you alone because it's a lot. It's a lot. You guys are going to have like deep, you're going to get deep into it tonight. Like, really? You want to do it at a doctor? What?
No, this is good. This is good.
One final question, and it's a deep one, so get ready. What does pride mean to you?
I think pride means freedom, being able to express yourself exactly the way you feel fit. And I think pride just means love overall, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think of 3 words. I think of love, joy, peace when I think of pride. Love, joy, and peace.
I love it. So where can everybody find you?
Okay. So on Instagram and TikTok, we are houseofk.love. And then on YouTube, we are just House of K.
Thank you. This has been such a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having us.
We appreciate it.
Queer Family Podcast.
Whew. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that episode as much as I enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, feel free to listen to another or watch another. I have so many episodes for your listening or viewing pleasure. Just go pick one and enjoy. There's a lot. There really is. And also, if you really do like this show, please, I know I say it all the time, but please do consider supporting the show on Patreon. You're just going to go to patreon.com/The Queer Family Podcast. You're going to pick a tier, you're going to join, and you're going to get that bonus content. And you're also going to get my love and adoration for the rest of my life. I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Keep on tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Mwah.